For those of the students who are aspiring to be engineers and scientists in electronic communication engineering with Amada School of Engineering, Chennai campus, we have here with Dr. Venkatesh Kumar, who is Assistant Professor, Senior Grade with Amada School of Engineering, Chennai campus. Welcome to you, Doctor.
Welcome, sir.
Today we're going to discuss with Doctor regarding ECE, Electronic Communication Engineering. Before we discuss that, Doctor, we'd like to hear from you a brief profile about yourself. Over to you, Doctor.
Yeah. Myself, Dr. Venkatesh Kumar, working as Assistant Professor in Senior Grade in Electronic and Communication Engineering, Amrita School of Engineering, Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, Chennai campus. I have more than 12 years teaching experience. I have completed my PhD in the area of artificial intelligence control based hybrid renewable energy systems. And I have published more than 60 research papers in the related to artificial intelligence, even in communication designs and how to control the renewable energy system in microgrid and smart grid applications. Currently, I am serving as an associate editor in IEEE Access Journal. It's a highly reputed journal in IEEE.
Wonderful.
As well as I am holding the position in IEEE in Madras section.
Great.
I am the chairman of professional activities.
Wonderful.
As well as vice chairman of IEEE Power and Energy Society and Madras section.
That's great. Nice to hear you that you have been holding a lot of responsibilities in just not teaching but beyond teaching. You have been associated with many of the other activities of your department, ECE. Nice to hear that, Doctor.
Thank you.
Dr. Venkatesh Kumar, you've been handling departments like EEE, Electronics Engineering, then you've been handling Electronics Communication Engineering, you've also been handling Computer Communication Engineering. And these three departments, yes, you would say is the best. And if it is the best, what do you think are the uniqueness? What do you think are the special about your department in comparison with other institutions or the universities across the country? Over to you, Dr. Vicky.
Actually, our department, the curriculum wise, is better than other universities because we are going to focus on what is the real time needed for the industries.
Right.
It's based on that industry's need, we are created our curriculum for the students. So the students have the more opportunities to learn on the real time applications as well as the current updated. This is a very unique thing compared to the other universities. Apart from that, in our faculty members, is a highly qualified doctorate faculty members. They are concentrated in many research area in electronics and communications engineering, like image processing, biomedical engineering, and 5G technologies. Recently, the Jio, they are going to implement it in 5G in India in 2021. So we already incorporated in our curriculum. So this is our unique area.
Dr. VK, you'll agree with me that across the border, it is the faculty which makes the department success. Whether it is school, whether it is a college, whatever it is, faculties play a very prominent role in shaping the future of our students. If you agree with me, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, what do you think are the strengths or how strong are your faculties in all these three departments of EEE, ECE and CCE? Over to you, Dr. Vicky.
Yeah, our faculty members, they had minimum 10 years experience. All are have minimum 10 years experience. Many of them completed in doctorate from IITs. They had good publications, research
You yourself
publications.
said you have done about 60 odd
Yeah,
publications.
yeah,
right?
I
So-
did 60 research publications.
All right, wonderful, wonderful.
Then I am also working in international standard working group in USA, like brain machine interface as well as smart grid technology. I am one of the board member of standard working group.
What about the other faculties you have?
Yeah, other faculties we have Dr. Manigandan. He had more than 15 years teaching experience. He completed in doctorate from Anna University. Then Dr. Elangovan, he has more than 18 years experience.
Wonderful. That's okay. I mean, so you have almost on an average about 15 to
Yeah,
20
15
years.
to 13 years.
Okay, fine. That's
experience.
wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, coming to another question is like, how important is the facility of a lab in your department? And if the labs are very crucial or it's a pivotal center for learning ECE, I would like you to tell us as to what facilities do you have or what unique facilities that you have in terms of laboratories in the teaching and learning process of ECE for our students.
It's actually we are teaching the courses is not general teaching. So we are provide the activity based learning. So the students they learn through the activity.
It's called ABL.
ABL. It's an activity. So we have all the classrooms and the laboratories digitalized. We have the digital board. We can to interact with the students with the digital board. Then our lab strength, we have the IoT lab with collaborate with the Intel corporations. Then we have many IoT related microcontroller boards, and the students that get more experiential from that area. So they can do any real time projects. Then they can to publish the research papers. Some of them create the new capstone projects. So we have provide the capstone project for all the courses. They are done capstone projects in different areas, but it's a very interesting one. They are developing the model based projects.
See, when you mentioned about projects, I would like to ask you about what are your plans in terms of projects and internship for your students in the future?
The projects is the easy students we are concentrating. We know the pandemic area, the corona pandemic area. So the students are many of them is concentrated in biomedical related projects. So like image processing, and they are done in AI based diagnosis systems. So the students are showing the interest, so do the research work in this area. Then we are collaborating with some leading industries, Philips and Siemens for that manufacturing the biomedical related equipments.
Dr. VK, I want to just talk to you about, the future of our children who complete either EEE or ECE or CC. What do you think are the prospects that would be available for our students once they graduate from one of these three streams of engineering? Over to you, Dr. VK.
So after the UG, the students they can to concentrate in the PG or the courses like biomedical instrumentations and networking, smart grid area. There is a smart grid is a combine all the departments related to electrical, electronics, and communications. Then some of them are interested in artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning. So it is a very whatever you are studying machine learning and deep learning algorithms is the main application is in our department only. So they are going to implement the algorithm for our biomedical instrumentations as well as image processing and 5G network. So there are plenty of opportunities there for the PG courses.
When you said about the opportunities under PG, post-graduation courses, okay, he takes on to the higher studies. That's one part of it. But what are the opportunities in terms of getting employed or getting placed with EEE, ECE, and computer and communication engineering? What type of placement a student can expect once they complete the year 2023? I think your first batch of students will
Yes.
pass out in 2023, if I'm right. So what can they opt for?
Yeah, there are plenty of opportunities in our pipeline. Like a 5G, they are implemented in 2021 in our India. So there are plenty of opportunities for join the 5G networks as well as the smart grid area. They are implemented in India. there are so many pipeline projects are completed.
So you do smart cities and all.
Yeah,
these-
smart cities. There are so computer communication, the smart cities, and the electrical vehicles is one of the major area. They are concentrated in ECE, EEE, and communication engineering students because they have in 2030. Is most 75% of the vehicle is converted into electrical vehicle. So we need to reduce the pollution. That is a friendly environment. So they have more opportunities in this area, as well as biomedical instrumentations. So now is the growth is very prominent level from the biomedical instrumentation, the development using AI technologies.
Dr. VK, you'll agree with me that the students join us so that by end of the third year and the beginning of the fourth year, that they get placed, right? I mean, that's the only reason. Of course, they all want to be engineers, but ultimately the underline is a decent placement. I want to just ask you as to what would be the companies or the names of few companies that would come over to recruit our students after they complete their EEE, ECE or CCE. Few companies.
Is probably there are many mobile manufacturers like Samsung, Nokia, and Lenovo. Then many of them Intel also they are concentrated in AI related microcontrollers. So there are opportunities for these companies. Then as well as in IT companies, they are concentrated in our communication engineering students for 5G technologies design and communication sectors in Geo and BSNL, our government sector BSNL. There are many companies are there in, for the placement.
Dr. VK, the students who opt to join EEE, ECE or CCE for that matter, a straight question to you on this. Is there any special talent that is required to be a successful EEE engineer or an ECE engineer or a computer communication engineer? One need to develop something from the school days, whether into programming or whatever it is. You mean to say that student must be a specially talented guy to be a successful engineer in these three streams, or just ordinary or a little above ordinary would do? Over to you, doctor. What is your takeaway from that?
Yeah, from the first skill is needed is the mathematical analysis.
All right.
That is a very important one. They should have interest in the science. Then applied sciences are engineering. So they should know how we are going to. First, they should set the goal.
Okay.
Then they should strong in the mathematical analysis because communication engineering or electrical and electronics engineering and computer and communication engineering is a problematic subjects. So there are plenty of numerical problems are there. They should apply the new technologies, new algorithms. They can to develop the new algorithm also. So because we are deals with many artificial intelligence based our curriculums are there. So they should strong in the mathematics.
All right. So, Dr. VK, I just also want to find out from you which are the thrust areas, if at all you have any thrust areas in your department, because you have three departments, EEE and ECE as well as CCE, right? Computer Communication Engineering. Under these departments, what are the focused thrust areas that you are looking for?
Communication engineering, we are focused on the 5G networks and cyber security from that area. Then electrical and electronics engineering, we are concentrated on smart grid technologies and renewable energy sources, and especially on electrical vehicles. Communication and computer and communication engineering, they are focused in the both area. They can to collaborate with the electrical engineering as well as the communication engineering field.
Dr. VK, when you look at EEE, ECE and CCE, what are the differences in terms of curriculum? I mean, in the sense that EEE has this and ECE has this, CCE has this, and how do you differentiate the curriculum, the process of learning? So, can you just throw some light if you could let me
Yes.
know? And anything specific that you like to say on this? That yes, computer science and communication engineering has this, right? You have a second year, third year, sixth semester, fifth semester. So something just a brief on that. How does it differ? Of Of course, you have electronics and electricals, you have electronic communication, you have computer and communication. So what exactly is the difference? Are they all interlinked? They're all like brothers and sisters from same family? Or they are cousins? Or they are distant related? Just want you to say something about this.
Definitely, sir. So most of them EEE and EC department, electrical and electronics engineering and communication engineering department. The subjects, moreover, are the same subjects
So they
are
are
there.
brothers,
So brother and sisters,
They're
like
same dad and mom, right?
yes,
Okay, okay.
like the common subjects, the courses of circuits, electrical circuits, and networking, control systems, digital electronics, analog electronics. There are some common papers are there. Then after that, it goes to the third year and final year. They are going to in depth of the STEAM. It's an easy students. They are study about the networks and antenna. And EEE students, they are studying power systems and power electronics related. And computer and communication engineering students, they are going to in depth of some the skills of the programming skills. And then they are studying about the Python programming, artificial intelligence. But the same opportunities there in other department also in EC and EEE.
What do you, my question to you is about the next 10 years, right? How this industry, which is connected to all these three streams of EEE, ECE and CCE, what is going to happen the industry in the next 10 years? It's going to change, it's going to be static, or it's going to come down in terms of job opportunities. I'm not going to ask you in terms of the industry, right? So how is it going to shape? You can just give me in one. It's going to boom, yes. It's going to be stable, yes. It's going to dip. So what is your answer?
It's definitely boom.
All right. So that's a wonderful booming situation that we're going to have with students who pass out in EEE, ECE, and CCE. My question to you is that if at all, a student wants to not to go for placement or not to go for higher studies, and he wants to take up entrepreneurship, right? Will they be able to pick up entrepreneurship after completion of one of these three streams?
Yes, sir.
They would. And what type of business could they start with? What would the venture business that they can? What type? Like they can make some electrical switchgear systems, or what type of business they could start? Because there are many students who like to start, the startups and investing their future on trying to be a businessman in the future. So what type of business they could start? Because it's something to do with electronics, it's something to do with electrical, it's something to do with communication, it's something to do with computers. So it's a variety spread over spectrum of engineering. And if I have to know from you as to what type of business you suggest, one or two would be helpful for the students.
Yeah, definitely the electrical vehicle manufacturing. So the electrical vehicle manufacturing is involved in the three department, the major department, because there are plenty of sensors are there. Artificial intelligence controllers we are using for the battery management systems. In facilities, there are plenty of petrol bunks are available. So instead of when the electrical vehicles came over the picture, so then we need to install the battery charging station. That is one of the biggest.
I know that, because today you don't have stations where you can charge, and that would be one of those hurdles to promote this. So it's a question of chicken or the egg, whether you have the charging stations be there and then manufacture electric
sensor manufacturing.
All right, so there is a wide open in terms of businesses, and thank you so much for being with us. And in fact, you had certainly explained it so well that our students who are aspiring to take up EEE or ECE or CCE with Amida School of Engineering, Chennai campus would go as per your suggestions. And thank you so much for being with us. And if at all, before we leave, you have something else to add, right? I would have not touched certain points, right? But if you have something to add on to whatever I asked you, any other answers that or information that you'd like to share with the viewers, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, definitely. Apart from the curriculum, we are concentrated the students, the professional society activities. It's like IEEE, IEA, IET. There are plenty of.
Can you explain what is this IEEE?
Yeah, IEEE is an Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. It is more than 130 years old.
I see.
It's a professional society. It's a father of IEEE, Thomas Alva Edison, and Alex. Alexander
Oh,
Graham
Thomas
Bell.
Alva Edison is there.
Yes.
Okay, right.
Then IET is there. IEA, our Indian Institute of Engineers in India. There are plenty of opportunities we have provided for the professional society development. So the professional society, they can to involve for the international level competitions. They can to present the research work in the international conferences. They can to discuss with the other faculty members as well as scientists wherever they easily to connect
Okay.
from the worldwide. So we are provide the opportunity for the students. We are encouraging the students to join the professional society professional societies, and they get job opportunity also is available from through our professional societies.
All right, wonderful. So we have here with Dr. VK, right?
Yes.
VK, all right. So we have here with him, and we have discussed about the possibilities of students joining into either EEE or EC or computer communication engineering at Amada School of Engineering, Chennai campus. So we, in fact, thank you so much, Professor, Doctor, for explaining as to what is all this about, the three most important streams of engineering, and it will be easy for you to decide to what to choose, what to pick when you are aspiring to be the engineers and the scientists for the future. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Doctor, for
Choice.